Hi everyone, and welcome to the February channel update. So I've got the poll results, and it seems like 83 people voted, and 30% of those use Unity. So I think that's a quite a large portion of my audience, and I think I'll keep delivering the content for Unity, especially for the character series. You know how to set up the scene if you're a VFX artist and you would like to just display your VFX using the character animations, and just have a little bit better scene setup. Okay, so I'm hoping those videos actually gonna give you some insights on how to approach the scene setup. So that will be I'll keep adding to the playlists. Okay, so let's maybe go through what I've done this month. So I think we started with this mesh series. I've added another video to the playlist where we actually created this simple disc with the vertex color and 2 UV channels, and this in the middle you can see it's this disc with the texture that we've created later on this month. It's actually this texture, okay, with some material changes which I discuss, and I go over these techniques on my Patreon. We did this texture as well. I think this was part 1 and this is part 2. So I'm hoping this gave you some insight how to basically achieve those kind of textures, and I hope it kind of provides you with the tools in Substance that you can explore and maybe learn something from it. We made this texture as well. I really like that one, and I think it looks pretty cool, especially if you add some stuff on top of it. And I've added additional videos to the character setup series for both engines, which is like a bath scene. So because you don't always maybe want to have 2 characters trying to shoot each other, sometimes you want to display your bath spell as a VFX artist. So I think those 2 scenes might be very helpful, and how to set them up if you have no idea how to. Okay, and I've did the breakdown of my explosion as well. It seems like people really enjoy that one, and it's got a lot of clicks on ArtStation. So I thought maybe I'll just create like a short breakdown video on how this was achieved and what I used, and I go through the layers of it. So we discuss the dirt, we discuss the smoke, the explosion, the smoke trails, every single layer. I just go through, enable and disable them, just to give you an insight basically how it's made and what I use and why I did that. Okay, what else we've got here? And also I've launched the first Patreon tutorial where we actually take advantage of this mesh and this texture, and we create something like this in both engines using some material stuff on top. Okay, so I think each tutorial is about 1 hour long, and you basically can see me going through and creating this from scratch using those 2 assets that we've made this month. So I'm hoping people maybe enjoy this. I want to talk a little bit about the Patreon as well. Okay, so basically if you'd like to support the channel and you really enjoy the Substance content, I think you can just go to Patreon, and there's a first tier I think that you can actually that might be your way to supporting the channel. Another thing that I want to talk about is that I decided that instead of taking money for myself and putting it in crypto or something, what I'm gonna do, for the first year or 2 I'm gonna invest that money, and I'm gonna invest it in creating assets for you guys. So how that's gonna work, basically, if we're gonna get some large number, I don't know, let's say a couple thousand, I'm just gonna hire a 3D artist, maybe character artist, maybe an animator. It depends how much money is gonna be in the pool basically, and I'm gonna create assets for you to use for your VFX, right? So basically it's something that you can use without giving credits possibly, or something that you can use across all of the engines you can use in your projects. and it will be VFX focused. So, you know, we might have like a realistic or maybe stylized character that it's casting a spell, and, you know, various animations that's going to be made by the animator. So yeah, we might explore this, but again, it's just an idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work, because it will depend on how many Patreons I've got, and if there's enough money in the pool to actually hire those additional artists. Okay. So yeah, that's just a quick update for this month. And yeah, also I want to talk about what I've got in my Substance Designer and what I've been making as well. So as you can see here, this is crazy. I mean, I've made this UI thingy, which I think looks pretty cool. And there's like various options that we can actually control it. So I wonder maybe if I can turn that into, you know, some sort of tutorial and give you an insight how to, you know, achieve something like this, because you could animate this and make an effect out of it, I think. But yeah, I've just been, you know, exploring various shapes and various uses that we can actually do in Substance now. And so as you can see me just going through, and I'm adjusting some nodes and getting a little bit different results for this. Could be like a hologram even, I think. It depends, I don't know. I quite like it, so I might, you know, explore it further and create a VFX based on this texture. I'd imagine I can, you know, probably do a lot more details and maybe separate that into some circular shape and animate it. I think. I mean, that's the idea. But I have to probably keep exploring the design and maybe improve the design of it a little bit, because yeah, it's just, I just started working on this, so it's not quite there yet. So that's the one thing. Another thing I have, I got a couple textures, stylized textures that I'm exploring, because I want to find if Substance can be used for those very stylized shapes, and I think it's not quite there, but those shapes, I think they're starting to look pretty cool. Okay, so I probably could make a tutorial on a couple of those. I really like those kind of cuts here. What else I've got? Let me just go through the stylized fire. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm definitely gonna turn that into a tutorial. How maybe we're gonna do some campfire or something. As you can see, I can go through, you know, those nodes and create variations of that texture very, very quickly. I think making a flipbook might be very difficult, like a sprite sheet, but I'm guessing we can do some material tricks to make it animated and make it to look a lot more stylized, I hope. I've got a bunch of crack textures. I think I showed that in the previous videos, and I started working on this lightning as well, because I wanted to improve the lightning texture. So as you can see, I can just, you know, move this slider and we can get variation, and probably we can turn that into flipbook, so we can just, you know, keep offsetting, saving the images and make it animated as well. What else? Let me go through. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on this. That's pretty cool. I think it could be used as a projectile, either as a rotating disc projectile, or maybe I can just separate one of those and make it into a projectile. Yeah, some swords, slashes, weapon slashes if you want. Yeah, so I've got plenty of those. If you like any of those, just give me a shout, and I'm sure I can, you know, make a tutorial out of it. Okay, right, okay, so that's the February update, and yeah, I'm gonna record one next month to, you know, walk you through what's been done this month. Thanks for watching.